Happy Thursday!
Good morning.
You got to come a little closer, baby. So we are here right now getting ready to begin our day. A little late, but yeah, we have to do showings. And we're also meeting with the lawyer today about the duplex. I'm kind of excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
We've never dealt with an ejido lawyer before, and most foreigners wouldn't, because there is no way to protect your investment. Now,
we can't legally own it.
No, we can't. We can't. But we need to meet with a lawyer just to see how all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted on ejido property. I think we need to buy more because the price is so much less.
Yeah.
Now, you've got to be willing to walk away from it. That's the problem with ejido. When it's titled, you've got a constitutionally protected investment that nobody can take without giving you just and fair compensation.
A little hair that I know will bug you eventually.
I didn't even know it existed.
I know, but it'll bug you because you're all sweaty.
No, it'll bug you.
Yep.
There you go. Now the truth
I was
comes
trying
out.
to help you out because they get prickly.
Oh, it's that kind
Wow.
of hair.
Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Marie.
Hello, hello. Now, which Sandra is it?
Sandra Ryan and Marie Haskins
Sandra.
and Kayla Flores.
Wow.
Mitten.
Hello, Kayla. Mitten.
And Louise Mock.
Louise Mock. Who's that?
That's my mama.
Oh, okay.
It's my mama.
There you go. Morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Jolene.
Yesterday, my lungs started to turn into rocks, and it's concerning because of what she had, which seems to be, it sounds like it's going.
Yeah.
Like last night, you slept amazing. I mean,
yeah,
we didn't sleep much last night, but she sounded great.
There was apparently another earthquake around 1 something.
What? How big? Yes, you told me. I'm doing this for them.
Making sure that you remembered.
So how big was it?
6.5 apparently.
We would have felt that, and I was awake.
Well, I mean, other people posted and said they felt it, so.
I don't know. So did you feel the earthquake
in the same
last night?
area, so that's not good.
No, because they said there would continue to be aftershocks.
They're not considering this an aftershock, though.
Oh.
No, they're considering it another earthquake. Yeah, and I do not like this eyeshadow color on me.
I don't notice. It's kind of dark here.
Maybe, hopefully it's all it is. 6.5, yeah.
Yeah, do you guys see Christie's eyeshadow?
One thing that some people are saying is that this could activate some of those semi-dormant volcanoes as well. And that's never good.
Well, it depends. Volcanoes are kind of cool.
Not when you live near one.
Do we live near one? We live near. There are so many not inactive volcanoes here in Mexico.
We call them dormant.
Dormant. But they're not only dormant if it's over 10,000 years. Something like that. Now, how the heck do they determine that? For me, dormant is like, yeah, it hasn't done anything for 40 years. Now it's dormant. But not if you're a scientist.
Scientists aren't always right, are they?
COVID!
So, we've been having a few issues with my dog. It's escalated.
It's excavated.
It's
wow.
escalated since we paved our backyard.
But I was thinking about this. She used to poop and pee upstairs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not a forgetting thing.
No, but in the house, it's unusual for her to be doing that.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying it's not unusual for her to do this.
Anyways, some of the things that I read, especially with her age and stuff like that, is that it could be on Alzheimer's. So who knows? Who knows? Because it's weird that she is all of a sudden now with the doors open. It's not like she's trapped in the house and she can't get out. It's just odd to me that she's doing this. It's not. There's a reason. It's not just because she's lazy.
No, it has nothing to do with being lazy because she can walk.
Or spiteful.
No, I don't, Christie. It's just a lack of training.
But she's never done in the 10 years we've owned her. This has not been a thing.
She has gone upstairs.
That's a whole different story. It's outside still.
Yeah, but it's still on cement. So we have this much dirt in our yard now, which sucks for her, obviously. And even for me, because now where do I go in the backyard?
Good morning, Kira. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Jeff.
Hello. So if you have an animal that's starting to do weird stuff and it's an older dog, just assume.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but there's probably, or it's medical, they think.
It could be. Yeah. So yesterday my lungs started to get really sore. Even now they're just sore to touch. And it could be one of two things. One, I may have played with a petri dish and opened it with the wind coming towards me. Not a good idea because there was stuff growing in there that maybe shouldn't have been opened and freed into the environment. The other thing is, Christie's been ill. I may be getting it. Although I'm taking like 6 grams of vitamin C a day with zinc, no vitamin D. So this morning I took D as well. D is a weird, wonderful vitamin. I personally think it has a lot to do with skin cancer, not getting it. The only reason I think that is in Mexico, skin cancer is almost not a thing. And you'd think, in Mexicans. And you'd think that there would be skin cancer because it's just, they're always in the sun. So I think that we're being brainwashed in all the little things they ask us to do.
Up your salt.
Up your salt, Leslie. Up your salt. Thank you. It's a good
morning,
thing. It's a good idea.
And Art, good morning. Donna, good morning.
Now, people are terrified of salt, which isn't, not a doctor, but I think the doctors are kind of dumb. But right now, salt, when you take too much salt, we're going to jump back a bit. Many people are given these diets with low salt. Well, when the heat goes up in the summer, those people die. So it is not a good thing. And with the electricity prices and stuff, I was even reading that people in Arizona could not live there in the summertime if there was no electricity because many of them are air conditioned in the places that they live. So, and that's something I never thought of before, is that there are people that would die in the summertime.
Yeah, the sodium in the processed food is bad. That's true.
The low salt, not good. Now we do have salt in our pool, which is great. NaCl, sodium chloride. It's the chloride atoms that when they free that, then it's amazing what it does. And it even smells like a pool a little bit, even though there's no chlorine in the pool. I love that.
Mara misses us. Natural salt is good, not bleached, yes.
Yeah, natural salt is good. Well, not only that, they add iodine. So in Mexico, they do this, and I think it's probably because of what I've heard they use iodine for, but they'll take sea salt, perfectly good sea salt, now with iodine added. Why the hell would they do that? Especially when we live here near the water, because you get iodine from the ocean, all this kind of stuff. Not iodine, fluoride. Sorry, fluoride. So yeah, the fluoride that they add to the salt in Mexico is just, it's nuts. And I've heard, and nobody can prove me right or wrong, but they use fluoride to control the population so we don't rise up and take care of our masters. Just a thought. Well, the older I get, the more I realize, especially with this, the COVID has proven that there are people that do not have our interests at heart.
Morning, Terry.
Corporations that make a whole crap ton of cash
Good morning,
based on us. Not a good thing. So yeah, natural salt is good. The pink salt, they say is better, but then other people say, eh. And I guess it really depends on who pays for the research.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to have extra minerals and stuff in it. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, especially when you see the percentage of minerals. But then in our body, do we need a lot?
Yeah.
Because I've taken like little teeny tiny pills that whack the tar out of me, and I'm a big boy.
So Terry, I made your dill pickle soup that you posted on Facebook a while back.
And how was it?
It was dill pickly. It was awesome.
Yeah, Christie really likes her dill pickles.
I added cream cheese into it though, just for an extra little bit of
flavoring.
Yeah, or something.
Fatty something.
Yeah. Good morning, Shirley.
Hello.
Shirley.
What is Shirley doing? She's supposed to
be on vacation, not listening to us. But You're welcome to join, Shirley.
Yeah, but she is getting her house done, which we're excited about.
Yes.
We're still in the process of getting our house done.
Really?
We watched a great video, a couple from Vallarta, and actually it really wasn't a great video because they did what we do, not talk about much, but they were talking on the construction, and it's like a 22, 25-minute video, and talking about all the problems that you have. And they showed this list that they gave to their contractor. Weird thing, contractor not working with them right now because everybody's doing something else.
Yeah.
And this is a concern with that last earthquake and any damage that occurred, because if everybody is doing something else, how are they going to fix the problems that have arisen?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. They showed they have to actually start now taking care of this stuff. So maybe we have to start taking care of some of our stuff.
Is that Living Simply in Mexico? I think that's what the name was, right? Living
I think
Simply
so.
in Mexico?
I think so.
And they're here in Vallarta. I had to look them up. Never heard of them before. Yeah, cream cheese makes everything better, in my opinion. I love cream cheese.
Good morning, Mom. Hello, hello. Yeah, you do like cream cheese. You like cream cheese in everything,
Mm-hmm.
even the poppers, the jalapeno poppers.
Well, that's part of the recipe, though. That wasn't my addition. That's part of the.
What? You told me you invented that.
I did invent them, and I wrote the recipe. I've yet to do I want to do a stuffed pork loin with bacon wrapped.
Now, do you core it out the middle, or do you cut it and then put it in and tie it?
You kind of fillet it so it rolls over. So we need really good knives because we don't have really good knives.
We don't have good knives. And in Mexico, where do you get good knives? Now, there are knife people that drive around every once in a while. They've got a whistle, just like, though, the tamale people, which is so weird.
Yeah.
They both have, because in Mexico, you always have different sounds.
No, that's not the tamale guys that do that. That's the ones that do the cooked yams and stuff, I think. I don't think
whistles are this similar.
Yeah.
You've got your garbage truck, which generally they used to walk around with a bell. I don't think they do that anymore.
Every once in a while, I still hear the bell, but not like they used to.
Gas guys have theme songs. Donut people have their own songs.
Yeah.
The people selling vegetables have their song, shrimp. Like, everybody's got a different sound, so everybody knows, that these guys are coming in the hood.
Yeah, that's who's in the neighborhood. So if you want it, to get your money and get out to the street, and when they drive by, they'll stop. I feel like alfalfa, I have this little bit of hair sticking out.
That is kind of one of my favorite things about Mexico, is that they come to your house to sell you stuff. I love that.
Hi, Eva. And cream cheese and bagels, yeah.
And like I said previously, we don't have one person coming to our house to sell donuts. We have two. I love that. I mean, I haven't hardly bought donuts in the last year, maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it's been a long time. They don't even slow down past our house anymore. They just keep speeding by.
Here's my imagination for a great commercial for Mexico. Is you see the summer day and everything is moving in the neighborhood, and then you hear the truck coming for the donuts, and you see all these fat men open the door in slow motion, and they're running down the street, chasing.
Do you know how many times you've said that even on this show alone?
But Christie, it is magical, and I need to do it. So they're chasing the donut person, and then they catch the donut person, and she says, "Hey, Jorge, hey, John, whatever." And then he says to his buddies, "She knows my name." I'm telling you, that will be a good commercial.
We could crop it. Well, she might not be able to because it's
Who?
The donut lady that comes by, but hers is a brand.
Oh, yeah. Which they may like that.
Maybe
we should just do one. Just
don't put me in that.
Well, but you're not a fat man, so you would not work for this. But yeah, you can just imagine them all flinging the doors open in slow motion, and nothing like watching fat men dance, fat men run. It's funny. Fat men bring joy to the world.
Okay.
Unless you're married to him.
Mm-hmm.
No joy there. 0.
A little bit.
Okay. So today we have 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We will be finding out more stuff about the Ejido. Only for us. It is not ethical for us to sell or even talk about Ejido stuff, like Ejido properties, with foreigners, because foreigners cannot legally own a Ejido property. Now, Ejido is not like an Indian reservation. People are always like, "Oh, it's just like that." No, it's not. It's an agrarian co-op, and it was done in the 1917 Constitution of Mexico was created. And this was done to allow the average individual to claim land in Mexico to sustenance. It's for sustenance. There was a point, though, where something like 90 or 95% of Mexico was owned by ejidos. It has since turned into the land mafia. It really is. But at the same time, it's a way to get an inexpensive piece of property because it's the government's.
But again, you can't put it in a foreigner's name. It has to be Mexican.
Yeah, it can be regularized. There is a process to regularize it, but it's going to take 2 to 5 years.
Morning, Bud. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you at the end of October.
You cannot have a ejido in a corporation at all. A corporation is only beneficial if you've got 3 or more properties. Up until
that you
then,
don't want to live in.
That you don't, yeah, you can't live in any of them. So a corporation is set up more or less just as a business, and that, you don't have to physically, you can physically have the deeds to the property in your corporation, but it's a little awkward. So that's why we are establishing a corporation. Our children are the shareholders. And the nice thing is that as the parents, even from our corporation, we can transfer money into their corporation to buy properties, etc. I like that. It's very good.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and there's some things that we can do tax-wise that are beneficial when you're buying and selling.
Now, if you're a developer,
why not a corporation instead of a trust?
It's just that the corporation, you now are legally required to report. So now you've got to get an accountant, you've got deeds and stuff that you have to do. So it's not until, like I said, about 3 properties that it starts to be affordable.
If it's owned in a corporation, you cannot live in it personally. The corporation holders cannot live in it. And when you go to sell, there's no way to get capital gains exemptions.
0.
That's a huge thing if it's only for one property. And you have to declare, you have to do taxes, you have to hire an accountant. It's not cheaper. It will not work out to be cheaper than just doing a trust.
For the average individual, it is way cheaper just to take your bank trust.
Yeah.
You pay $350 to $550 a year. Wealthy Mexicans also use the bank trust system because the nice
I'd like to find the 350 ones. They're 450.
Okay, 450 to 550. Wealthy Mexicans do this as a form of estate planning because ownership is determined as the substitute beneficiary. So you have your primary beneficiaries, your substitutes. When both primary or all primary beneficiaries die, at that moment, the substitute beneficiaries are activated. There are other ways to do it, but I'm just talking the simplest, easiest way to do this. And the nice thing is it's all just paperwork and a little bit of money. So it's like $2,000 to $4,000 of today's dollars to assign the new substitute beneficiary as the primary beneficiaries. Because typically you'd have to go through another closing, and that's way more money than that.
Yeah. Hi, Auntie Deanna, how are you?
So back to the wealthy Mexicans, and I've mentioned this previously, that I will have a Mexican call me up and say, hey, John, my parents died, want to sell the place. I said, was it in a trust? No, call me in 2 to 5 years. Call me in 2 to 5 years after it's worked its ways through the courts. Because they're slow here. Gosh darn, they're slow everywhere though. But they are really slow here. It's very frustrating. I tell people all the time, I love living in Mexico, do not like doing business in Mexico. Although that's how we get all of our funds, etc.
It really makes me mad when he keeps saying that.
Well, no, but it's true. It is very true. I mean, I don't stand in line. I will not go to a bank. I have to sometimes only because I am the persona
morale. Because he insisted on having more percentage than you.
Well, I didn't want to get into a situation where you leave me and then now we've got to break up the company.
You're going to die first. Don't worry. It won't matter.
Fair enough. Now, that is one thing. I think, is it September? That is the will month? Yeah. You need a will. If you're going to be in Mexico and own property or whatever, we don't have a Mexico will.
No. And our Canadian will doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, we really need to get a Mexico will. So we're going to do that this week. I don't know why we haven't. Like, we would be...
Well, because really...
I guess in our properties, trust.
Yes, everything that we own, the only thing, it would be just our business. That would be the biggest thing. Yeah. That would be our... And that I don't know how that works in a will. We'd have to find that out, because that, I think, would be a special...
It's worth a lot to you. It really is. If anything was to happen to me, you want that all sorted out.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, but I'm on it, so I am the beneficiary.
Yeah, it's just that if I was to die, what happens?
Well, I get it all. Javier will help me.
Fair enough.
Kill you too.
Now, it is for me to get a power of attorney for my corporation, because right now, as it stands, I need to go to the bank. I need to go to the phone company to do any kind of modifications to our contracts, etc. To get a power of attorney, it's like $2,000 or 20,000 pesos. It's a lot of money versus a normal POA.
Well, with this kind of POA before the corporation too, we have to have minutes stating that this is fine. We have to have a meeting, a board meeting. It's just him and I. So it's almost not where, and then we have to get that notarized. It's a lot. It's very convoluted and it's ridiculous. Just to give me signing authority at the bank and Telmex or Telcel, for goodness sakes.
Telcel's terrible. And every time we go to Telcel, they ask for another copy of our corporate papers every time. Yeah. And they've got 50 to 100 copies over the years because it hasn't changed.
Yeah, insanity.
And this is our 15th year of owning the corporation. And we have how many contracts are on our cell phone? And each contract, anytime you make a modification to that, I need to give them another copy.
Speaking of that, we need to go back and change this whole message thing that they put us on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the phone company, oh gosh. The guy who owns the phone company is Carlos Slim, one of the richest men in the world. I know why he's one of the richest men in the world.
Telcel too?
Yeah, Telcel and Telmex are the same corporate family type thing. And he is an incredibly wealthy man because it doesn't matter if they're the richest Mexicans or the poorest Mexicans, everybody has a cell phone.
Jolene, yes, I saw your WhatsApp. I was in bed sleeping already last night. I wanted to ask you some qualifying questions, but slept in this morning. So that's why we were a little bit late to start this morning. And
well, I woke up at 4:12 last night. This morning I woke up at 1:28, something like that. And then I didn't sleep again until like 5:30. Yeah. Weird.
Henry, there wasn't an aftershock. They're considering it a full-on new earthquake, another earthquake.
How do you know? Like, that's just weird.
I don't know, but that's what the science doesn't lie.
Unless it's COVID. The earthquake, maybe it came from a different spot because I think, they can triangulate where.
They said it was the same epicenter.
Really? 150 miles away from
I don't know.
Where we are.
I haven't
kilometers.
Looked into it that far because, again, we got up late this morning, and so we were hustling to get our butts ready for this. And Donna, good morning. How are you this morning?
Hello. So, back to art. That is why a corporation, not a good idea. The other thing is it's so expensive to start a corporation.
Yeah.
And they will make you shut it down. Or when you find out, we've had people spend $5,000-$6,000 just to set up a corporation and take it apart because the lawyer's like, yeah, do it through a corporation. Then when the buyers find out, oh my gosh, you have all these legal requirements that you have to adhere to. And it's a funny thing. The longer a government is around, it doesn't get less complicated. Mm-hmm. It gets more complicated.
But, we can speak from authority on having a corporation because we have one for our business and we have to declare monthly.
Yeah.
Every month we have to submit our taxes and pay what we owe. For some odd reason, we never get rebates. We used to.
Yeah, it's so weird. The government doesn't
give
you a penny back. So and that's why I think you need a good accountant to start. We used to have to give our accountant 10% of any money we got back. It was kind of a custom.
That's because he fudged the numbers to make us get money back. No,
no.
Just kidding. He never fudges anything. No. I wish he would sometimes.
I wish he would.
No, we don't. We like being 100% legal in everything that we do. That way, nothing can ever come back at us and say, you guys did this. We're like.
But it's only the honest people that pay.
I know, but I'm okay with paying. We're making money. Otherwise, we wouldn't be paying.
No, but what I'm saying is only the honest people pay. If you're not honest, you're robbing the government.
But they eventually get caught.
Maybe. Or they run for government.
Well, that too. Wills constantly need to be changed, though, because things always change in life. Remember to do it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That was from Eva. And Allison, good morning. You are here in Vallarta now, aren't you? We're in the area. I saw a picture of you and your husband on Facebook.
we have not done a Mexico well, and we've been here 19 years in just a few days. 19 years.
Your battery's almost dead.
Maybe.
I see the red light.
I've got a red light district on my watch. This is it right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very scary or very sketchy or whatever you want to call it.
I gotta take my watch off because it's telling me I'm dying. Well, the watch is dying, the battery. This watch is nuts because there are times when it's rotten for
And
2 or 3
it's been working
days.
fine for a long
It's
time,
working for a
hasn't
few
it?
days. Like, what the heck, man?
And you guys know mine melted.
And Christie's always like, why do you think it does this? Why does it do that? I have no idea.
I just ask him because he pretends to be so smart. So
No.
maybe he should be able to tell me the answers to my questions.
Not
But when I ask
every
him
single
questions,
question.
he just gets mad at me.
Because they're silly questions. Like, why is the sky blue, John? I have no idea.
Why is there a knife in your back, John?
You put it there. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank goodness my father-in-law did it, or I would probably lost half or all the land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
that is the problem in Mexico also. You've got estate taxes, probate, all the other crap. Without a will, very complicated.
Yeah.
So I think we're done, hon. We have to get going here right away.
Yeah.
And we're also going to go to Sam's today, right? You said?
Yeah, and we're gonna get sugar, right?
Yes.
We're gonna make another run of vodka.
For gin. We're making gin this month. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.
This is the awkward part.
It isn't awkward. You make it awkward.